Hey everybody, XJordy1X and on Tubes today. You know that expression, if it's free, it is for me. Well, sometimes people just give you stuff or ask you if you would like something. I have a buddy of mine who does Chinese reviews, and he or she gets a bunch of stuff throughout the year, and sometimes when there's a lot, I'm offered some stuff. This time it was some kind of fog lights made by Zoomoon or Z-Moon or whatever. Here's the Sharpie. They're going to be this. The specifications are right here. Hit pause. And they come with brackets and the actual lights. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I did this. These lights are not made for this car. You could plug in your year, make, and model on any of the interwebs, and you could try to find something. You could find headlights, you could find fog lights. This is a 2019 Toyota Highlander SE. I have previous videos of the side skirts and the vent shades that will be in the prescription. They do make something that I like, but I don't like. So these are fog lights, and they have this finger in here. And I don't know if the air goes and hits the tire, but they make something where this comes out. It's on Amazon, and it has LEDs right here. And this stays, but I don't know if the air is meant, and I don't want it to look ish. So what I did was, it was a gloomy day. I pulled it in. It technically didn't rain that hard, if at all. I have this set up here. I'll back up a little bit. And this is what I did. So the very first thing to do is take off your shroud. I took the shroud off. It has these little buttons that are on my bench. The second thing, is to very, very calmly figure out, does your car come apart? Because sometimes the bumpers are attached to the you have to find out if your car comes apart. Okay? Okay. So now I have it upside down. Why is it upside down? I will show you. In the Toyota, there's something right here. It has a lot of wires, and I think it's a depth perception. There's something in the windshield, and there's something right behind the emblem here. This is going to be upside down. And what happens is, there's all this new technology now that stops you lane departure, or it stops you from rear-ending somebody. I was afraid that if I unplugged this, took it out, plug it back in, do all my work, I would get a check engine light that could only be reset by Toyota. I don't know. Technically, between me and you, when I was doing the vent shades, the battery died. I jumped it. So if the battery dies, is that the same thing as unplugging this? Whatever. So what I did was, I took it out and flipped it upside down. This plastic piece right here, that nipple, that goes right here. That will be installed later, and when it's permanent. So this is wonky, but it works. Why? Okay, I have them the same orientation. I turned these on earlier off camera for about 10-15 minutes, so I didn't burn out the car. They do not get hot. Why would you want to know? Well, they're going behind this grill, and if it gets hot, you don't want to burn this grill. So I worked on this first. I looked at it. I looked at it from this way. I looked at it from that way. I put the bracket on. Here's the bracket. There's two screws back here. There's one here, and there's one. It's like a nut floating in. So the bracket could sit on only one side. It could sit like this and go up and down, or it could sit down in here, and you could flip the bar, LED light bar, and then the bracket could go here and slide right here up and down, or it could go here and slide up and down. It doesn't give you the option to take the side off and put the little screw is right there. Do you see that? So that's the one that's being used is used, but this one could slide. They don't give you the option to take this off, and this channel is not the same. I felt like if that was the option, I might have been able to like put something like here, or I might have been able to do that, but I digress. Let me get that out of the way. Okay, so I have a lot of stuff in my house, nuts, bolts, and these two things, which I sacrificed, are radio removal tools. They're very thin. They were brackets of some sort. You could see down there, you move the wire, that it had a little hole. The same thing. So I said to myself, oh, let's cable tie it. Well, I don't want the cable tie to go in front of the light. Then I have my plastic enabler. Then I'm like, well, I don't want to make a lot of holes, and then when it's back on the car, you see, okay. Then I'm like, oh, maybe I could have, and the problem is, you don't want it doing this. You know, you don't want it shaking, then you don't want them to fall, then they're going to fall in here. I don't know. So, after a while of like mentally looking at it, cable ties were probably not in the cards. Cable ties can theoretically wear out in the winter, and especially in the summer if the heat's hot, and then all of a sudden one of these things start to dangle. So what you see is what you get. So I had a screw here, I have a screw here, I have two screws back there, you know, I have hole here. Okay, got to be careful to use whatever holes for the shroud. And I said that I first worked on the top here. So this is the bracket bolt. This is this bolt right here. I had, of course, small lock washers. I don't know if that's the right thing. I don't know if lock washer maybe puts a little tension on it so it doesn't break. Down there, I had a screw. It already had that an indent for the hole, and I bent it, I worked it, and then you're saying, wait, what did you use this for? Oh, thank you for asking. I kind of, right here, and like right here, maybe you could see, they were sitting a little proud. There's a bracket that sits proud. I can't take them off. And when you put them on, they were doing this. And it was like, So I made a galley the best I can without ruining it. And it sits in the galley. So it doesn't, it doesn't move. It will, because it's a car, but it shouldn't, sliding it. I didn't want the light to do this. And so I got this thing. They're very pliable. Okay, I mimicked this, which is the same on this side. And then I said, I installed this. I tightened it. I made a little hole here because you can't get an Allen key. I made this hole was already there. I made it bigger, so now the Allen key fits through your finger. Well, fits through here and then tightens. So I made it so, right, okay. Now I know how to remove this thing. So if I ever, these break or they're waterproof, I feel like if I flipped them upside down, the wire, which is short, would have been here. When I put this grill back, there is enough space without the shroud to make them work. I'll show you them working. I don't know if they're level, but I'm going to call these zombie lights. Everyone says, what do you mean? Well, they're just there. My wife drives this car, and she'll probably never turn them on, but they're zombie lights. Amazon has a button. So if you take your time and measure the button, boop, boop, you could see that the left is some auto lights, the A is automatic on and off, and then there's a block, and then there's the tailgate, and then this model has the front windshield wiper, and then the Limited has other things. I think there's a steering wheel warmer. So those are just plastic bricks. If you know how to remove the dashboard, which I also have a video of a 2017, you can purchase that brick. Now, you got to be careful not to, those are another set of bricks. I have to measure them. I don't know if they're all the same. But you got to be careful that if these and these are different, to get the right one, or make sure they're returnable. So I was on Amazon. I was looking. I got to take some measurements, and it was actually it's fog lights, and one is dip, and I saw something that you could change the wording, and it's zombie lights, and is a blue illumination. I don't know if that has to do with internal stuff, but it's blue. So I got to look a little bit, and the install after that will be after this. So anyway, that's that. So the install video, which is not happening today, is that the red is power, the black is ground. So off camera, I hooked the red up and the red up to this. Then I hooked the black up and the black up, and I had it in my hand, and I touched the negative. Bzz, and these went on. Now, what I did was, talking to the mad scientist, is, hey, let's eliminate the negative wire going all over the car and maybe back to here, and then you got to get something for here, and then you got to have a wire, and it's going to look like an old school stereo. So what I did was I started touching things, which I'll show you if I can. And this bolt, that holds the horns, kind of worked. I had to like scratch it. So maybe during the install, one of these two screws, maybe I'll just, wire brush it. But this does work. So the good part is I could take this wire and this wire. Obviously, they don't meet. I could make a nice piece and then come out, make it swirly, and then I could probably get a clamp thing and undo this. And make it like a circle with a wire, and it just kind of blends in with this. Just do. Jay says that unfortunately the red wire and the red wire have to go to the button, but then power has to go to the button, just like a light switch. So I need to find add a fuse, which I have from the Buick, and I have to see if I'm going to go in through the kick panel or if I'm going to go through here. I don't know yet, and that's not for today. I'm just showing you what possibly might. You know what? You can't do anything with one hand anymore. So you need the power has to go to the switch. The light has to go to the switch. And then you press the button and the zombie lights turn on. So, again, there's a million different ways. Find the fuse, diffuse, relay, blah, 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 blah. So that's, when I figure out a way, then you'll be the first to know. What I'm going to do is kind of temporarily put the dash, listen to me now, it's at the end of the day, and I'm trying to talk. I'm going to put this back temporarily and hook it all up and give you a light show. So, people say, oh, no, you shouldn't show your license plate. Whatever. What are you going to do? So this is what they look like. Without they're not hooked up yet. The grill actually just kind of sits there unless it falls. Let me try to get a front shot. I think that's pretty cool. They kind of sit there. I used the center of the light with the center of the grill. It didn't really fit. Whatever. Unless you wash the car and snow accumulates on it and they break, I think it looks nice. Oh, and then there's the Toyota Camry license plate. So who gives a flying F? Let me hook them up. Yeah, margarita. All right, let me see if I could do this. I'm being lazy. I'm not getting the tripod. So let me show you before you get blind. Positive, positive, positive. Make sure they don't touch. Make sure they don't touch. Negative, negative. And this kind of works. I think I would wire brush it because it's a little wonky. See? Makes the light. There might be a better bolt. This would be just a quick connection where you don't have to worry about bringing it to the negative. So anyway, let me back it up. That's bright. That's really bright. Isn't that crazy? Look at that. I don't even know. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. I don't know what angle there are. They're definitely zombie lights. Oh, jeez. Let me back the car up and see what the reflection is on the garage. It's not that dark, but maybe if I back it up close enough, you'll see. Incidentally, let me show you, when I start the car, they blink, which was obviously I just shut the car off. Oh, look what's happening. Low battery. Well, that might be just crapping out. Ready? Let me back it up. I'm noticing stuff. I'm noticing a flicker. It's the rear camera is flickering. I wonder if it's a lot of juice being pulled. I don't know if you could see it. It was flickering. The camera never flickers. Maybe it's the connection? Oh yeah. Those are definitely FU lights. They're not going to be on, and I'm never going to turn them on, but look how high they are. Those are definitely FU lights. Those are get out of my way. Doo-doo-doo. They're right at my belly. Look at that. Oh my Lord. Let me turn on the headlights because it's not that dark. Here's the headlights with the fogs. Oh. Let me shut the fogs off. Well, they're actually not that high. They're higher, but they're not that high. They're gonna be higher. Actually, maybe not. Huh. So it's raining and I'm trying to make this video. So this is going to wrap this up. Again, I'm gonna pull this in. I'm gonna cable tie these wires, so if the brackets do fail, the fog lights will just fall, and then hopefully my wife realizes, oh, something's wrong. I heard a bang. So, okay, we're good. Nothing's touching yet. So that's it. Again, maybe this is wonky. So I think they're cool. Yeah, I guess they're in line with the headlight, so maybe they'll just be enough. They'll be a little bit high to the point where they piss someone off. Hit like, hit subscribe, and hopefully we'll wire this up eventually. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.